Hey everybody, I have a design that was made in 2023 in Figma, and I want to make it more DRY, don't repeat yourself. So if we look at this file, there is tons of repetition going on. There are these checkboxes, they are components, but this was in the days before variants, I believe, and so they don't do anything. You can't wire them up as prototypes, so this design had to be duplicated in order to show checkboxes being on. There's other things like these can be overlays so that you can use them wherever you want. And basically, if this button is clicked, it will open this overlay instead of needing to have a more linear setup where you have to have a settings frame every time you want to open settings. And then there are other things like these images. You could click on this, maybe even have an overlay that says, choose image from your photo library. And then when you close the overlay, this changes to this image. So a lot of things here that I want to improve. One thing I want to say is that another thing that happened in this design is that none of the frames were named. So when you start wiring things up as a prototype, it gets really difficult if you say, okay, when I click add ingredient, go to the ingredients adding page, but the page is called frame 22. So you have to remember that because there's no preview in prototype. So let's fix some of that stuff as well. Let's start with the checkboxes because they are small. And and I've learned a few things this morning trying to figure this out. So it's hard to copy and paste into a component variant. So I'm going to actually rebuild these, but these are the original components. They don't do anything. They're just, you have the ability of changing the style here, and then it will change throughout the app, but they don't do anything on the prototype level. So let's fix that. So I am going to take this checkbox and drag it. I'm going to use this one since it's the more complete state. And then just so I don't get confused, I'm going to just call this one old. And this one, oops, old. Okay. I guess this wasn't a component. Interesting. All right. So here's my checkbox. I'm going to open up this frame and show you what's going on. I have a check mark and I have a checkbox. I actually had to name these because they were not named in the original file. And I'm going to just call this checkbox new, just so I don't lose it. This was named something like vector 3, and this one was named rectangle 32. I changed those to names that we're going to use in the second variant so that when we smart animate, it'll look better. It'll know what it's transitioning to and from. Otherwise, it doesn't know that rectangle 32 and rectangle 34 are related, so it'll just do a dissolve and it won't look good. So here is our checkbox. The other thing I did was that I added a stroke so that the stroke will change from yellow to black when it's turned off. You can't see the stroke because it's the same color as the fill, but it's a really important little tiny feature. So let's take this whole frame and we're going to make it a component. So I'm going to click Option Command K or Control Alt K on a PC. Now I have my component and I'm going to go up to the top of the page. I needed to scroll and I'm going to click on this little diamond that has a plus, and that is the add component. You can always right click and find it as well. If you go here, go to main component and say add variant. There's those two different ways to get there. Cool. So I want this one to be my default actually. So I'm going to change this one first. The other thing I forgot to do is I want this to be center justified because I want the checkbox to be tiny and then grow. Okay, so selected colors. They do have some styles in here, which is nice, but they're kind of not completely set up. So I'm going to change that. So, okay, there's my outline. And then you can see the checkbox. It's like very lightly visible. So I'm actually, I think, going to make it transparent. I'm going to maybe make it the color that it will be, but then make it 0%. We'll see how that works. I also want to shrink it. I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to say I want it to be 1 pixel by 1 pixel. And then I need to now move it to the center. If you like lose it on the page and you can't find it, you can always click over in the frames or in the layers. Now I'm just going to drag it till I get a center line. I think that's centered. I'm just going to pretend it is. It looks a little off to me. Okay, so there is that. And then this one is good. Let's just rename our component. So I'm going to click on the whole thing. I'm going to go over to the top here. I'm going to call this checkbox. I'm just going to call it variants so I can find it because there's a lot of checkboxes in this design. I'm going to kind of click anywhere and then I can rename stuff. So another cool thing about newish versions of Figma is that if you use the words off and on, it will automatically know that this is a toggle. So when I go to my prototyping, I can just toggle it on and off. Cool. So just to test this out, I'm going to make a little frame and I'm going to, let's go to assets, checkbox, created in this file. Where'd you go? Checkbox new. There we go. Cool. So there's my checkbox. I'm going to drag it over here and I'm going to make it bigger so we can see it. Hopefully that doesn't mess it up. I think it probably will, but we'll try anyway. Now I check it. Come on. Oh, I never wired it. Silly. Cool. So in Prototype, on the actual component, we're going to say, I'm going to click interactions. If I click on this, I want you to change it to, and then turn on the toggle. That'll change it to this one. And I want you to use Smart Animate, and let's add it a little bit of bounce to it. So I'm going to say ease in and out back. There's also these spring and bouncy, but let's try this one. And okay, so now we should be good. Let's see if I messed up the size. No, okay, except for the check is not the size is not responsive, so it looks a little weird, but you get the idea. So I know that my checkbox is basically doing what I want. I might actually wonder if I can make this responsive. I'm not sure if it's a vector, so I don't know if I can actually. I'm not going to mess. I probably would rebuild that knowing what I know now. Cool. So it's called new checkbox. Let's go replace some of these and try it out. So scroll. I have a mouse wheel and I'm holding down Command to zoom in and out with my mouse wheel. It's kind of the best reason to pay for that scrollable mouse if you have been dreaming of one. Cool. So I have all these old ones that I want to get rid of. I'm going to just right click on them and say paste to replace. And then I can go to design. I hope. Frame. Where are you? Click to checkbox. Check border. It's not the component. So I'm going to back out of that. That didn't work. I'm going to say assets. Click to checkbox. That's not the one. Where's it? New checkbox new. This one. Insert. And I'm going to cut this one and then I'm going to try to paste to replace. Cool. It is still purple. This is a good sign. And I'm going to try to do the same thing. Looks good. Paste to replace. let's just do the top 3 and see if that's working now. I also want to check prototype. Another thing, I realized that the background should be transparent instead of white. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I like the white, but something that I could also fix. So in prototype, it has this, basically, if you click anywhere, it goes to the next page. Oops. To the next page. I want to get rid of that. I guess it's just that one. That's fine. And this, I think, is just a rectangle. Okay, cool. So I think I have the checkbox part. No, I accidentally got rid of that. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just keep going. So I'm going to hold down, I'm going to hit Shift Space. And now hopefully these checkboxes will automatically work. I can turn them on and off. And oh, that's interesting. I can, reuse them and not have multiple pages. The other thing, that's interesting. Let me look at that again. I do this, I do this, I do this. Oh, yeah, because the rest are not components. That makes sense. All right, so I could replace the rest. I'll just do that for now. Copy. Oh, I'm in prototype. Silly. Command Option Shift. And this one is called Cinnamon. Cool. And I can replace this one, replace this one, replace this one. Now the whole thing should be working. And then the other things that are happening here are step description. So they basically have one instance where there's nothing in here and one instance where there's words. Let's go look at the words. Okay, I think my plan is, just for the sake of speed, I'm just going to make this whole box a component. So I'm going to copy that whole box. Let's go to File and see where this is. Okay, groups 42. I'm going to call this step description. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out and drag that, Option drag it so we can replace it in place. And I'll just bring it up here to my little component land. I'm just going to get my style guide a little bigger. Okay. Cool. So there's my step description. And just because I'm lazy, I'll just go get the words too. It would have been faster if I just started with the one that has words. But, you know, actually, let's do that. Copy. And then I'm going to just zoom up here. Where are you? Big file. Okay, this, and I'm going to paste to replace. Cool. So now I have the full one, and I'm going to make a component of this. So Option Command K, or you can right click and say create component. And then I'm going to add a variant. So I'm going to hit the little diamond with a plus. And on the first one, it's going to be empty. And on the second one, it's going to be full. And this one, 14, should be 0. Cool. So let's also look at the names of things. So lines, fine. I don't care about lines. But I think in the other variant, I'm going to close this so I don't get confused. Maybe I'm going to call this word count. And this one, word count. And then the rest I think are fine. The text is fine. Okay, so cool. The other thing I could do is, I don't know. Let's try this for fun. Copy, paste. Put one of these down here. But this one, oh, this goes here. See, I always do things in reverse order. And then maybe this one is just, but it's called add cinnamon. Oh, that's funny. Default, this one goes up here. Variant 2. Okay. Just got to make sure they're in the right frames. It's called oh, did I get rid of it? Doing great. Okay, moving on. I was going to make it so that it like goes from nothing to being a bunch of words, but I actually ended up just deleting it. So I'm going to move on with my life because this would be a long video. Okay, so I'm going to add an interaction and I'm going to say when I click on it, then change this to variant 2. I should probably make it so that it has better names. So this would be, I'll call this step description. There's sort of a difference between the name of the component and the name of the frame. They can be duplicates, but just something to be aware of that in assets, it would have showed up as property 1 if I didn't rename it. So this one will be empty, and this one empty, and this one will be full, something like that. Cool. Now let's make sure when I click, go to full. Right, so now I'm going to make sure that it's in my assets. Step. Where are you? It's weird when you're renaming something that already existed. It's called group 43 right now. Let's fix that real quick. Oh, it's because the component is in another frame. I don't think it needs that frame. Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah. Step description. All right. I think I see what's happening. Full, empty. It lives inside step description. Okay. Let's go back to the page. This guy. So I'm going to do this page and we'll just change the rest. And let's see. Can I paste to replace? I don't think I copied. Paste to replace. Nope. Command Z. Go to assets. Step description. Insert. And then I'm going to just Command X to cut it. I'm not in design mode. Okay. Now that this whole frame is selected, I can say paste to replace. Oof. What happened there? Is that the whole frame? Let's look. Step description. Seems right. This and replace it. Come on, don't be like that. Insert. Let's try that again. There's always a little bit of fighting with Figma. Add. Oh, look, that's why, because the thing is all messed up. Maybe I shouldn't be recording videos today. Let's go back and fix this. Okay, file. This one is full. This one is empty, but it has this in it. It needs to live in full. I think I just messed him up. Oh, it's because I was assuming this was the variant. Okay. I think that was my bad. All right, fixed now. Let's go back. There we go. This one. Let's see if I can paste or replace now. Okay, great. And I'm just going to check. So this is the empty and that's the full. Awesome. And I wired it, I think. So let's make sure there's no other wires that are going to mess us up here. Doesn't look like there are. That is for that one. Yeah, I think we're good. So now I'm going to hit Command Space. And now if I hit description, it will load. Oh, funny. There's a line that got kind of messed up that you probably saw me do. And you were like, no, there's another line. All right. One more thing. Let's do the photo. Let's do the photo first and then I'll talk about overlays. I'll pause and go find an example. So this one is called Group 45. I'm going to say this is upload media. And let's make sure. Okay, looks good. I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to go back to design. Just for the sake of ease, I'm going to just do it up here. And I'm going to, let's see. Okay, just wanted to see how this was built. Upload media with a group inside. I'm going to make it a component, Command Option K. And then I'm going to add a variant. I'm going to put it up here because it loves to add variants below. You can always rearrange, but it likes to add them below by default. Then let's see if I can copy paste. So copy. And I basically want to paste it. Variant 2. I want to paste it inside. Paste here. Didn't work. That's the rectangle. Paste to replace. Okay, sweet. I did it. You got to make sure you're pasting inside the component. Otherwise, you just replace the whole component. All right, there's our component. Upload media. I'm going to name it upload media here. I'm going to click out. I'm going to click on settings. And this one will be, let's do off and on so we can have a little toggle. On. And then we're going to wire it. Prototype. Oh, let's get rid of this prototype because this is going to the next page. We don't want that anymore. So now I'm going to say, if I click, then change to photo and make it be smart animate. There's nothing really to animate smartly, but we'll just do it anyway for funsies. Now I can take this, I can Command C to copy it. I'm going to get this whole frame and I'm going to say paste to replace. And now it is my upload media. And now if I play this frame, which I'm just going to rename the frame because it makes me crazy. Recipe details. Now if I play this and I click on it, it will add the image. Cool. And then I could do something. Maybe I have another button in here that lets me change the image. All right. I'm going to go find upload a picture from your camera, like give access to your photo camera, whatever you call it, photo gallery. And then, and I'll unpause and I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. And I found a description of what that screen would look like. So I'm going to make one right here. So I'm going to hit R for rectangle. And then I don't know how big. I'll make it about that big. It'll just be a little overlay. Let's go back to design. Let's see. I think I'll keep it gray. Maybe I'll give it, I'll go like old school. Let's see, I'll make it a solid gray outline. It's like 6 pixels. Sure. Then I'm going to round the corners. All of the corners will be the same roundiness. Then I'm going to click and I'm going to have centered text and it's going to say, this app would like to access your photos. This lets you share photos from your library. You get the idea. And then I'll have a allow and don't allow and an okay. And I'm going to change the font here. I'm going to make the font color black, and I'll do some sort of text styles, right? Create new style. Let's see. Courier. No, too weird. Monaco. No matching fonts. What's a good font? We'll just pick one randomly. How about Montserrat? Seems great. And then I'm going to make this one be 14, and this one will be 18. And I'm going to shrink the box. If I hold down Shift or Option, it will shrink it from the center. And then this will be bold, and this will be regular. Okay, and then there will be 2 buttons, but they'll kind of be fake buttons because it's just a prototype. Make it a little better. There you go. Centered rectangle. Don't allow an okay. Stroke. Sure. Corners. 20. Too much. 12. And then, I should have done it the better way. I'm going to show you this just because it's so much better. So text, don't allow. Make the text first. I'm going to make it regular. I'm going to make it, let's make it blue. That will be just like we're pretending we're on a phone. And I guess I want it to be medium. Right, now that I have this text, I can do Shift A, or if I right click, I can say Add Auto Layout. And then it gives it a box. And in the box, I can adjust padding. I can adjust the top and bottom padding. If you click on the little thing that looks like a Darth Vader's ship, it will let you scrub. So you can adjust that way, or you can type numbers in. So we'll do something like that. We'll give it a stroke, and we'll give it, where's the corners? That's for those. Where's the corners? There they are. 12 pixel radius. And then we'll just make a copy of this and say, this one is okay. Sure. Looks great. Now I'm going to just center these a little bit. That looks terrible, but we're going to move on. Okay. I can't move on. Oh, not the text. Do what I say. Do what I say. All right. This is going to be called, it's a rectangle. I need it to be a frame first in order to be an overlay. So I am going to right click on it anywhere and say frame. Now it's a frame, and now I can call it photo album access. Cool. That's just the frame name. Okay, great. Now I can say, if I click on this instead of changing, so let's go in here. I want it to actually open an overlay first. And the overlay is, look at all these frames. Photo album access. I'm going to center it, and then I'm going to dim out the background about maybe 65%. And I'm going to have it dissolve in. You can have it move in from the top, bottom, left, right, but I'll just dissolve it in. And I'm going to say close when I click outside. So I'm going to do that. But I'm also going to click on this whole frame. And if I click anywhere in the frame, I want it to go to the next page. I just thought of something. Because I said close anywhere on the outside, that would take it back here. It's a prototype. I just want it to go here. So I'm going to actually change that. I'm going to uncheck this close, and I'm going to close this. Then I'm going to go here, excuse me, and say interaction. When I click anywhere, then close this overlay. but also, so one more, add plus, also navigate to, oh, interesting. Yes. Set a variable of, dang. Thinking it over. I think, I might have to do this in a variable mode. Interesting. Because I can't target a variable in, yeah, interesting. I can't change to a variant. Let's see, let's try this. Close overlay. Can't change. Let's try navigating to, back to details, and then dissolve, and then, interesting. I think I need another thing here. Yep. Okay. This video is getting awfully long. I wonder if, okay, let's just do it. I need to, because this is an overlay, I need to have it set a, like basically a variable that says if the variable is off, then it is this version, and if it's on, it's this version. So I think that's going to be the easiest way. All right, so I'm going to go to design, click on the page, click on variables, and I'm going to add one that is a Boolean that is just going to be called photo access. Sure, because then maybe I'll make it fancier. It's default to off. And then now I'm going to go here, and on this one, prototype, close the overlay, and we're already navigated, so we don't really need that one. But we need to say, set a variable that is photo access to true. And then, this is getting funky, then this one will have an if statement on click photo album. When will I change it? Maybe it's got to be here. Interaction. Navigate to. Maybe I set the variable mode there. But then you'd probably see the image in the back. Set the variable of photo access to true. And if conditional, if photo access is equal to true, then change. Otherwise, change to off. All right, so this is on, this one's off. Set to true. When I click on it, okay. And then if it's true, I also want to then set it to false. I don't know if this is going to work. This is a terrible video. To false. Okay. Close. And then what's this guy doing again? interactions, click, close to true. I don't know. It's duplicated, but let's try it. Click. I think it's because this set variable. Oh, trigger set variable to true, but also open the overlay. And to photo album access. Okay. Dissolve. Okay. All right, let's try it. Okay. That's broken. Didn't do anything. These things don't live inside the box. Photo album access. This app would like, this one need to all be in here. That fixes that part. Okay. And then, yeah, doesn't change. Let's see. After a delay of 1 millisecond, if photo access is true, then change to upload media. Otherwise, change to false, off, on, off. So it's going to check after a second. Click. Yep. There we go. Okay. Whew, that was crazy. I think I'm going to have to remake that video. Now I'm just talking to myself. How long have we been going after this? 37 minutes. I don't know. Maybe you like the troubleshooting. Maybe I'll just put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. Maybe I'll trim it. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Okay. Bye.